All right. Doing a bunch of stuff. Of course, trying to mess with multi-streaming still. So I've got this plugin that I just added. What you can do with this thing is copy paste scenes between different scene collections. And it appears to work well. So that's cool. One thing I could do is test out the alert system. Let's see. So I've been using stream elements for that. All right. Be in here. So I'll just send a test one. Let's see. Maybe a tipping one. I don't know if I don't think I implemented sound. Yeah, it showed up down there. That's cool. That's basically what I want. It's just not super noticeable. So pretty much all of them look like that. Oh, man. All right, that's working. Whoops. I really need this. Just minimize it. All right. Still have my StreamJack stuff working, I think. Yeah. So I've been messing, like I said, been messing with the scene collections. I have 2 different sets now, but they're not in sync. However, I did copy those stream elements. I have a set of scenes with all of them from the different platforms. I mean, I'm only doing Twitch and YouTube, but there's a bunch of YouTube ones. And it's in a scene so that I can easily copy paste that thing. Yeah. So that's cool. Another thing I've been doing recently is I have a computer back here. I don't know if it's visible. Not much. And this is running right now, doing a scan of my entire photo video archive so that I can make a future video on that. That should be interesting. I don't have it plugged, I don't have it connected to the network at the moment, but I can show an example of what it looks like. Yes. If you're kind of allergic or something at the moment. There we go. This should be good. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it's showing. Yeah, that's fine. So what I've figured out, I mean, it's kind of, it will be common knowledge to anyone. So I've got that computer running with this program. This program is not server based. It's just a desktop application, and I want to access it from this computer. So you can use a remote desktop thing, but it's local. It's all on the local network. So that's what I'm doing here. This is called Remote Ripple. And you have a tight VNC as the server that runs on there to push the desktop to another computer. And also so that I have the screen, I have a little screen to use over there, but I don't want to run that thing all the time. So there was an open source headless, quote unquote, monitor driver that I was able to install so it actually works without the screen on. Otherwise, you need the screen on to use this VNC stuff. But that's kind of what it looks like. And then this is the fake screen in there. So it's like display one VDD by MTT, which is the person that I think they repurposed some other open source thing that was available. They made it more featured and such. Yeah, so it has a fake 1920 by 1080 screen attached to it, 60 hertz. But there are quite a few options to change it. Man, my voice. All right. So I'm trying to finish this video. This is for my photography, videography channel. It's these quick release mounts for GoPros and such. And then there was a clamp that they sent me, as well as a bag. I think out of the set, I like the bag the most. The clamp is good too. I'm actually using the clamp to hold this screen at the moment onto a shelf thing, whatever it's called, metal shelf, wire metal shelf, whatever. All right. It's not gonna
release the GoPro, obviously, and the buttons themselves have a lot of force necessary to undo them, so I'd say they're definitely strong in the sense that they won't release accidentally. You'd have to put a lot of force on the buttons at the same time to release it. Whether you'd want the quarter 20 connection on the bottom or the fins would depend on you.
But it's not gonna
release the GoPro, obviously, and the buttons themselves have...
All right. I'll just pull some random piece of footage for that. I need to think of some way to do this faster. Like maybe the way that I film things, maybe I should try to do it in a specific order every time, so that I can more easily find stuff. I'm a very whim-based individual. That one looks good. Kind of. It locks
those two pieces together. Depending on how that's orientated and how you use it, sometimes it does make it difficult to open the memory card battery door. And with these, it's much easier because you don't have that protruding screw locking things together. Overall, these are interesting. Depends on your use cases. I'd say use...
I'll put this one back here. one.
But it's not going to release the GoPro, obviously. And the buttons themselves.
Try to get this done without wasting too much time.
It's not going to release the GoPro, obviously. And the buttons themselves have a lot of force necessary to undo them, so I'd say they're definitely strong in the sense that they won't release accidentally. You'd have to put a lot of force on the buttons at the same time to release it. Whether you'd want the 40-20 connection on the bottom or the fins would depend on your use case. You can actually use these together to get a little bit of additional extension.
Flipping, I use the same exact fins would
depend on your use case. You can actually use these together to get a little bit of additional extension. A potential benefit of these, depending on your standard equipment, so your connector for the GoPro and the screw that locks those two pieces together, depending on how that's orientated.
Well, whatever. It
locks those two pieces together. Depending on how that's orientated and how you use it, sometimes it does make it difficult to open the memory card.
I don't know if I have that in the footage here. It's not really what I was looking for, but maybe this one. Exciting. Good enough. Next. It might be difficult
to loosen, but it's all metal, so you could easily use a tool to loosen that if you needed to. Overall, very nice clamp mount, super functional.
All right, that's 418. I know what it's referencing. I was talking about this thing with the, if I tighten this too much, it can be difficult to loosen. So the way that I handled this one this time, it seems like an interesting or more productive way to do it is because I need B-roll and stuff for the main video. So I did it in live stream, just taking a look at the stuff. It's a little risky because if it's garbage, I think I need to modify my terms a little bit. So I have some things in my terms that are more for the companies. But I think I'm going to change that. And then maybe potentially do the live stream a lot. If I mean, I haven't had stuff sent to me that often these days, but it happens. So I do a hands-on live stream, just looking at it, assuming it makes sense to look at it indoors, like unboxing type of thing. And then use some of that for the main video. This one's probably good. It's like a little creature or something. I don't know. To loosen, but it's all metal, so you could easily use a tool to loosen that if you need. It's not great. So it feels high quality.
The only thing I noticed with this clamp and the extension arm is
So it
feels high quality. The only thing I noticed with this clamp and the extension arm is with the arm itself. If you tighten that a little too much, it might be difficult to loosen, but it's all metal, so you could easily use a tool to loosen that if you needed to. Overall, very nice clamp mount, super functional, great for videography uses, photography, attaching to tables, attaching to
I forgot to mention this in the talking portion. There we go. It's good enough. And try working on some programming stuff, but it's tough to justify when I haven't released things lately. Video wise. So I think I just need to edit things. Because I have quite a few other projects that I could post once I'd finish editing them. There's
pretty much anything you want. Detaching to bikes, who knows, whatever you want to do. Works well, has standard connection points. Very nice. Next up is this bag.
All right. And my hands are blocking most of it. Maybe I'll use this one over here. Oops. All right. Let's see. Oh. There we go. Next up is this bag. They call it
The universal crossbody carrying bag. It is a sling style bag. Has an interesting texture to it. Feels high quality with the build, the materials. This front area can be a little bit challenging to open, but I think that's kind of a good thing, so people won't accidentally open that.
Yeah, they do mention that in their little tag or somewhere on the website or something. Carrying bag.
It is a sling style bag. Has an interesting texture to it. Feels high quality with the build, the materials. This front area can be a little bit challenging to open, but I think that's kind of a good thing, so people won't accidentally open that. It's just going to take a bit of extra time to unzip that. Inside there, you've got a decently sized pouch. In the main compartment, there's a lot going on. In the back, we've got a slot that you could...
In the main back, we've got a
slot that you could put something relatively thin. Then there's another area with two pouches, and then we've got a padded section that can be removed. On the padded section, it's got little slots that you could probably put micro SD cards in, and then you've got your main area with the padding.
You should clip these up, but man, I'm spending way too many days on this. Main area with
the padding out of there, it's easier to fit stuff, but you can still fit a GoPro or whatever with the padding still inside. Then you have a zippered mesh area. There is also a little clamp that's attached to the bag itself for keys or whatever. If you want an idea of scale of this bag, I have a CD. You can see the comparison of size. Probably one.
I'll try to find that. Should be pretty easy, because I know generally when I filmed that, so. It was 540. I guess I could put this in the clamp area. Forgot about that. I'll probably put a piece of it a little too much.
It might be difficult to loosen, but it's all metal, so you could easily use a tool to loosen that if you needed to. Overall, very nice clamp mount, super functional, great for videography.
There we go. So many camera angles. This is the cheap webcam. One of my favorite games, Outrun 2006. Of scale of keys or whatever. If you want an idea, probably one of the more interesting things about this
Bag is the quick release. It took me a second to figure out how it works, but you've got this string you pull on the top, and it easily breaks away from the other piece of that clamp. It is magnetic, so it's very easy to reclamp, and it is kind of designed so that it won't break away horizontally. You have to physically push it away from the other piece to unlock it.
clamp. It's probably a bit better. It won't break away. The mix of plastics
And metal, and there's a magnet in there. I did try this out with a few.
Still haven't heard anything from the Polaroid company. They said they were going to send it, but they haven't sent any other information. Switch to here for a second. Nope. I did get a company trying to send me a flashlight. I don't know. They're using an email address that technically doesn't exist anymore. But it's routed in a way that I still get the email. The flashlight is it has a standard 1000 lumen. Then it has a 365 nanometer UV beam. That doesn't make sense. I know it has a class 3R green aiming beam and a 365 nanometer UV light. So it's kind of interesting sounding, but maybe I'll see if I could put it on my tech channel or something instead of the photography one. Because the UV lights are interesting to look at walls and stuff and see if there's things on the walls and stuff. I think that's how it works. That could be amusing. But I don't know. The problem is reaching out in those contexts puts you in a bad position. I mean, this one's fine, but I'm saying if I were to try to reach out to companies, that gives them too much negotiating power. But I mean, I could still send an email to certain ones. I did contact some of the larger camera companies in the past, but didn't get any responses. Like Sigma and a few other ones, I think. Is a Polaroid Go
film camera. Try to put a Nikon Z5 in here and it does technically fit. Maybe with a thinner lens it would work better, but I'd say probably not ideal for larger mirrorless cameras. You have to be a little bit careful of how you orientate the bag, but it will work on the front or the back and still give you access to the quick release. Overall, I really like this bag. It's a nice...
Oops. Should be good. I'm not sure where to, like I mentioned, I do the multi-streaming stuff now. And I probably should just keep doing video editing on one of them, because that seems to be a topic that doesn't work well on most of the YouTube channels. So I'll just put it on the YouTube channel that I don't really care about as much. All right. I did talk about the quick release. Yeah, I like this bag. It's very nice. We'll see when I actually use it, but this might be a one shot or a one take, one clip. That would be nice. Okay, that's way a lot bigger than I expected. Probably one of the more
interesting things about this bag is the quick release. It took me a second to figure out how it works, but you've got this string you pull on the top and it easily breaks away from the other piece of that clamp. It is magnetic, so it's very easy to reclamp, and it is kind of designed so that it won't break away.
I kept doing the same thing over and over again. Probably one of the more
interesting things about this bag is the quick release. It took me a second to figure out how it works, but you've got this string you pull on the top and it easily breaks away from the other piece of that clamp. It is magnetic, so it's very easy to reclamp, and it is kind of designed so that it won't break away horizontally. You have to physically push it away from the other piece to unlock it. The clamp itself is a mix of plastics and metal, and there's a magnet in there. I did try this out with a few small cameras as well as a Polaroid Go film camera. Try to put a Nikon Z5 in here and it does technically fit. Maybe with a thinner lens.
Kind of worked as one take. Well, I want more of the actual attaching, unattaching. And my filming position for stuff is just not ideal a lot of the time. But when I'm doing it, I don't register that I'm so out of frame. Piece of
that clamp. It is magnetic, so it's very easy to reclamp, and it is kind of designed so that it won't break away horizontally. You have to physically push it away from the other piece to unlock it. The clamp itself is a mix of plastics and metal, and there's a magnet in there. I did try this.
And
It is kind of designed so that it won't break away horizontally. You have to physically push it away from the other piece to unlock it. The clamp itself is a mix of plastics and metal, and there's a magnet in there. I did try this out with a few small cameras as well as a Polaroid Go film.
That's good. Need to find those. Yeah, this is the wrong way to do it. Because the quick release is up here. And try to use that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the right way to do it. Oh. That one's probably good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's still accessible down there too. And up there. Okay, this is going to be a large clip. Probably won't be able to use that full thing. Interesting texture
To it feels high quality with the build, the materials. This front area can be a little bit challenging to open, but I think that's kind of a good thing, so people won't accidentally open that. This can take a bit of extra time to unzip that. Inside there, you've got a decently sized pouch. In the main compartment, there's a lot going on. In the back, we've got a slot that you could put something relatively thin.
as a Polaroid
Go film camera. Try to put a Nikon Z5 in here, and it does technically fit. Maybe with a thinner lens, it would work better, but I'd say probably not ideal for larger mirrorless cameras. You have to be a little bit careful of how you orientate the bag.
All right. That. Maybe around here. Please. Overall, I really
like this bag. It's a nice size.
Overall, I
really like this bag. It's a nice size and it's functional. The build materials feel good. Again, keep in mind that Start RC sent me this equipment.
Cool. Made this equipment try
Out at no cost based on my collaboration terms, which restricts them from having any input in the video itself, and they did not see it before release. Hope you enjoyed the video. Scott Duffy Bonsai, thanks.
Yeah. And this is just phase one of how I'd handle products now. Projects. So I make the full video and then I do a cut down 1 minute vertical video from this. Sometimes I add other clips, but usually I just use what had existed in there. And then I do a website article. So that's... I transitioned my websites to Blogger. I used to use self-hosted WordPress, but it turned into a massive pain in the butt with the host that I'm using and the domain provider. But I think I might even need to transition some of that more in the future because they're going through this. The specific company is going through it a little bit. So we'll see. But like, for example, this is a recent article. I used the Gemini Pro AI stuff to basically go through my video with the caption data. I've said this like 10 billion times now, but anyways. And it generates an article and it helps me extract frames from the video as images with a script that I have on the video editing side. So it kind of makes this viable enough that I don't spend a huge amount of time doing it. But of course I still need to fix it up and change some of the wording, make it sound different as you read it in your brain. Things like that. And I do add images and stuff when it doesn't do a great job, which it didn't do an amazing job on these ones. Oh, those look kind of pretty bad. I don't know why it's so... Oh. I think it rendered these out as the low quality. Whoops. In the video editing program. That's probably what happened. I'll have to look at that. Yeah. Oh well. I didn't think of that. Maybe I should redo that. It's kind of a hassle, but... So what I would do... Open up this one. And see if I still have the... chat thing. I don't want to use that. Switch to here. So I use the web-based version of Gemini Pro 2.5 because it's free at the moment, thankfully. And it's pretty dang functional and impressive for what it is. Make sure I don't have this thing showing up in the... I have shown it. I think it's fine. Anyways, yeah, that's not showing up. So I'm just looking for the chat that I would have had. It's possible I deleted it. I think this is it. Problem is, which one was the one I wanted to change? So what I think I had going here is that I had this in auto, preview auto, but I need to have it in the best resolution. So it rendered out the crappy. I could modify my script to force the rendering of better quality, probably. Problem is, I have to go through a little bit of extra effort now to delete the old ones and add the new ones on the website. Yeah. Up to 434 articles on there. This website's been going since probably 2011 or so. And it's moved to different places a few times. So I think I originally had on Blogger, and then I moved to WordPress, and then I moved back to save some money. And it's functional enough. The problem is it did mess up the reach of the website, pretty, like half of it. But I could potentially go and try to figure out how to fix dead links and things more so. So here's the scripts that I have in here. And then this is the area with the time codes that Gemini generated. One of these, though, is not correct. I'm trying to figure out which one. It showed a thing that didn't relate too well to the what I was trying to, or what it and I was trying to portray. Yeah, it was this one. So that was 1, 1, 2, 4, 6. So 1312, if I look in here, okay, not this one. If I look in the one that I can't access, 13. What? Okay, I don't think that was the right one. 655, maybe? Yeah, I think it was this one. So I needed to show the... I wanted to show that. It didn't show that. So that's 656.28. So if I go back into here, you look for this one. So I changed this to 56.28. That should work. And I need to... It's probably good. Go into here for a second. I'm gonna pick a watermark. Where did I put those? This. Extract. Need to delete the old ones. There we go. I guess I can show this. Yeah, so I'm gonna, once I click OK, it'll start going through the video. So it's pulling the frames, and now I have it set to full quality. It should look better. I think I messed that up on some of my other ones too. So it's kind of irritating. I'll have to look into that and see if I can force it when the, you know, with code in the background. Yeah, that's much better looking. There we go. Yeah, that's what I want. I have this as my thumbnail. I should have used the more enthusiastic image of it. Oh well. So those look good, but now I need to go into my blogger thing. So I think I should probably just delete the images from the article first and then go and delete them from the server thing or the management area for media, and then I can re-add the new ones because I don't want to have the old ones still in there. The problem is it'll be junky looking for a few minutes, but I highly doubt there's many people. Oh man, my side. It's kind of like how I sit, and then I put too much into my core or something. I'll have to look at my other articles as well and see if I screwed up on those. I probably did. You know, trying to do things quick and not being as thorough with noticing stuff. Maybe I can save. Well, I guess that works. Going to I have 2,000 images and such for this website on Blogger. Over 2,000. And I haven't seen any mention of storage limitations, but I try to not have the images too big just in case. So I just deleted the originals. I can go back to the article and add the new ones. I could show this on stream, but if I switch to studio mode in OBS, and then I don't think I have a Windows set up for this, no. So I can add a browser source. I must have, no, I don't think I copied it. Oh, copied it. that's not what I want. Delete. Delete. Window capture? No. Yeah, window capture. Hmm. And I can add a filter to crop stuff out. The problem is when you do this, if the window isn't the same size every time, it doesn't work out too well. All right. That's probably fine. So I can push this to the live view, and that's what the blogger thing looks like internally. So just remove these. I should be able to drag the... And now I can't change the size of the window. Actually, let me hide that for a second. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And then this. So for example, let's put this one in here. And then I usually do large size. Whoops. It's probably fine. And then this one. Click this. Click this. I wish there was more automated way to do this, but it's pretty much limited by their system. I'm just glad it still exists. It's clear that Google hasn't done a huge amount with Blogger, but they've kept it running. So, I mean, props to them for that. At least on this specific website, I do have ads. And so, I mean, they're benefiting from that as well. I am kind of, but I mean, it's so low readership that it's not a lot. You could look at the stats, but it's not a huge amount. All right, that was that one. This one. Metadata. What time is it? There we go. Yeah, some of this stuff, obviously, I wouldn't necessarily have written it like that. But like I said, it's more of a good enough better than nothing. Yeah, this is the fixed one where I adjusted the time code because the frame that the AI picked did not have the split view in there. So it was saying that there's a split view, but it didn't show it properly. The thing is, I don't think their system gives it enough accuracy. So that's part of the problem. Because I think it's like 1 second. It can look at a picture for every second of the video that you provide to it, which isn't enough accuracy, I don't think. This one still looks kind of janky. Well, maybe not. Next. And last one. There we go. Leave that. Update. Let's see what it looks like. Yay. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's see which other ones I screwed up. That one looks... Okay, this one looks fine. That one looks fine. I think some of these well, no. Yeah, this one's fine. No, I think I screwed that one up. Yeah. Well... There's a lot of them, too. Yeah, that one's messed up. Oh, man. There's probably more, too. That's readable. How did I screw this up? I guess those are fine. This one's kind of messed up. Like a huge amount of... So yeah, basically the furry one. I don't know if I have that on here. I think I deleted it from the... whatever. Yeah, I'm not going to bother. I don't know if I have the programming chat thing for that specific feature still. Just let me add that. Get rid of it. Oh, duh, I had a thing covering it the whole time. Oh well. So anyways, some of these do look kind of low quality. Especially this. So basically what's happening is that in the video editor, when I pulled the frames, it's set to like auto preview, which is a lower quality. I can see how pixelated that is, but if I set it to full size, that's much better. Or you could obviously use best full. That's even better. So I need to adjust my script to force this when it's generating the thumbnails. I mean the images from it. So what I could potentially do, did I close? No, it's... Well, what time is it? Problem is if I use an old chat thing with the Gemini, it might not have the code exact how it needs to be. So maybe I'll start a new one. Switch to here. Whoops. So I need to give it a bunch of contexts for it to properly work. Let's see. This. One file. That should be good. So the entire set of context is 242,000 tokens. A little bit over that. See if I can show this on screen. There we go. So basically, I want to modify this stuff. Extract JPEGs from timeline list. Let's see. Preview auto. Preview half. J. Am I? Am I nuts? What is going on? JPEG. Okay. Why was I kept typing? Kept typing E instead of made into JPEGs. Yeah, that's probably good. Run. All right, now I need the programming stuff. This one. Make sure this is the right Insight. No. Properties. Yes. All right. Did it just suggest to me? Geez, that's a lot of code. It's still making more code. Holy crap. That can't be. It is way too much. Stop. Holy crap. It's giving me like mounds of code. I think I was just reprinting the entire function thing, which is, it is big. Right. Yeah, so it was just spitting out masses, and that just feels too inaccurate, potentially. Because if it screws any of this stuff up, it's gonna wreck the project. Same. So it's saying adjust this so it's not as in the way. Yeah, this is what I want. So I assume it's in here, and then it mentioned save frame as JPEG. Let's see. I should probably stream. It's getting kind of late. All right. struggling. Ew. Is that the full thing? Let's see. So there is no... I think I'll just save this one in case. This here. I don't want to think about how much power use I just used for that. It's probably a lot. Because it was regenerating or regurgitating almost 3,000 lines of code. So let's see where it potentially... PNG. I should be able to... Okay, that's an intermediary. It took some commenting out. Okay, I mean, that's fine. All right. I guess I could just try it and see. Just trying to see where what's saved. Yeah, part of the problem with this is that it's so easy now that I don't look at the code as much or think about how to write the code. Okay, so here's the get set, preview video properties, render quality. I mean, when you think about it, this is kind of like the ideal form of programming, though, because it's taking care of things that I shouldn't have to care about, and this is like one of the... These were pain points of programming in general for me, is the little details and getting them to work properly of the implementation of code can be super, super frustrating. So, I mean, I'm sure you still have to do it in certain contexts, but for example, this, when I give it enough context, it's been accurate. So it takes this. Yeah, just for example, if I were to write this myself, I'd have to figure out how to get access this. So I'd look at their API document, and it's not super intuitive. It's just a big old file that doesn't give like a huge amount of information. So I'd have to try to find that, either looking at that or just looking at what's available in here, like going like this, and then, okay, maybe it's this one. And then, okay, what's the enum that I can use to store this and that? And then how do I switch it, type of thing. So here, this switches it to read best and full, which is what I would want. So it does look correct. Build. Compiled. So all this new code does is toggle those settings in the program, and they gave the hooks to do that pretty easily, it looks like. So all this stuff is probably mostly the same, but I can see that it did change other things. So that's kind of part of the danger of letting it rewrite a bunch of stuff. So to test this out, I'm gonna get rid of this. Up here. Go up there. I'm gonna use this as an example. So I have it set to preview, and let's do the lowest quality. I mean quarter preview, so you can see how blocky it is. And paste this down here. I'm gonna turn off studio mode. Switch to here for a second. Just picking a watermark. I don't need to be showing my file structure. And I'm going to extract the new test JPEGs into the same folder. Let's see, new. Oops. Yeah, so I'm going to put them in here. It's going to pull those out and see what happens. So these should be good. No. Why didn't that work? Hmm. Why didn't that work? I picked the wrong... Yeah. I'm pretty sure I built it. Yeah, it gives no text of what it is or... I don't know about that. So it's saying I was missing a critical step. Call update UI. Wait for... Alright, let's see if this changed anything. Generally end stream around 11:30, so I'm going past my usual. Save. Build. That built. Let's get rid of this. Okay, that's set to low resolution. Delete. Script, run script. Please work. Switch to here. Make sure I deleted the existing ones. Yeah. Well, that didn't work. Oh well, I'll have to look at that in the future. Or actually program it myself. Usually this thing works pretty well. The AI stuff, but whatever. That wasn't really my intent for today. Huh. And it's also possible they have a bug in their API. Yeah. So normally when you have a detailed like functional API, you're going to have text explaining what this is, what it does, how it works. But they clearly don't do that. It's just the function name without any help. So there's a preview. Maybe is there more than just preview? Render. QU. Nope. Oh. So why would it suggest to me a thing that doesn't exist? Okay, this is a function of some sort. So it's changing. Yeah, no help. Hmm. Needle in a haystack without contextual help. Whoops. I'll ask it one more time and see if it has any ideas. Let me give it URL access, Google search. All right. Oops. I don't even know I'm wearing these. All right, I'll give this an attempt and see if it's a result. Because it made another attempt. The thing is, a human, it's not really any different than what a human would do when it's trying stuff. Because in my opinion, the flaw here is the developers of Vegas and not documenting their API properly. I'm glad that it exists, but they're very, very efficient in the sense that, you know, whatever. It's hard to do things properly with it. Another thing I could do is also post on the forum and see if there's a guy that knows a lot about it, and he's not even related to the company as far as I know. But he probably could figure it out. Oh, I closed my project. Don't need that. This one. Last attempt. Make sure it's set to the low quality. I'm going to delete those exports. I'm just going to build this again just in case. I'm going to clean it. Clean. Build. I could even delete the DLLs, but normally that should work. Whoops. Being a watermark again. Need to make this faster. Faster process. Maybe I could integrate the watermarks into the program itself and just have them stored in there. And then if I do need to ever change them, I can change them, but this is kind of like a waste of time. Whoops. That's not what I want. And then just have a selector with the default. I think that would be better. Pictures. All right. Will it work? No. Nope. Well, anyways, I'm going to head out for now. Try to look at that or something at some point. Yeah, that's weird. Who knows? I'm going to keep messing with it, but my self-induced schedule doesn't really work at the current time with that. So anyways, we're going to head out. Relatively productive kind of piece.